They were making it happen. What do we got, Mark? So it's day 4. I took off last night. I got the doors painted. I'm gonna have to get back over there after we wet sand. But when I left, that's what happens. They get everything running. It's on today. Look, I mean, we're moving. We got quarters to do, rear body panel to do. I'm gonna leave. They're gonna put the doors on. We're gonna go paint some more parts today. It's gonna be exciting. They got all of the heater hoses hooked up. They got the upper and lower radiator hooked up. They got the key to work. That's always the key. That's the key, is when you hear the key. So we're always like trying to jump these and get them running, making sure, but what is always like a real turning point for these things is to actually be able to have the ignition in the car, hit the key, it actually works. We did hit that key a little bit earlier, and you know what happened? Nothing. But that's a good sign, because what we realized, you got to push the clutch in to be able to hit the key to start the car. That means that everything's hooked up, and that's the way it's supposed to be. Okay, so what we're doing on this car, we let it set a day. We're gonna hit this all with 800 on a stick. I'm gonna video this, and we're gonna take the light and we're gonna show you a couple steps during this process, but this is the process. And like I said the other day when we were doing this, people will go, we will take this car and people will go, oh my God, who painted that? And like I always say, that's 4 hours out of an 800, roughly 800 hour build, 800, whatever it ends up being. But it's all the preparation. It's all the work that goes into it before. It's all the guys that are putting all the hours in on this before. It takes 3 to 4 hours to paint this shell. Small part. You know, we're gonna run after it pretty hard this afternoon. I'm gonna make sure that by noon, this back, I'm hoping in the next hour and a half, by 10 o'clock, I've got this rear done. And then I'm moving to those doors. Kaylin and I are gonna team up. We're gonna keep working on this stuff. But then what we have today is we are going to the collision shop. We have, what do we got going on over there? We've got Eric, Sean, and Kyle all working on prepping the front end, the hood, the deck lid, and we are gonna be striping those today. You'll wanna watch that. That's good stuff. When you start throwing those black stripes on there, coming alive. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'll take this light and then I'll run down this whole quarter panel and I'll check everything. It's just starting to dry a little bit. You can see it around here, but this area right here still got a little bit of texture in it. And then I'll come across here. This has got texture in it down through here. All of these areas. And until that's gone, I'm never moving from the 800. I want all the texture completely flat. I want all of that out of there. And then we'll go to 1200, and then we'll go to 1500, and we'll put our first cut on it.
Getting ready to put the speedometer cable in.
Okay, I'm gonna give you a tip for the day. This is what's kind of cool, fun. You come up with these dumb ideas or these things like this, but it actually is functional and it works. So last night, Mark came in. He was here all day. I don't know why I say he came in. He put the taillights in last night. When these taillights come in, that's the gasket for the taillight that goes in. If you can imagine that, I cut that off right there. So when you buy that kit, all you're using is the outer ring of that. That's the gasket that you put on for the taillights. But it's like Christmas when these things come in. I'm like, oh my God, we got some new sanding blocks. So I use them for blocking and everything, but what I like the most, I use them for a squeegee. So once I hit this, and I've sanded it, then I go over, because they're clean and they don't have anything stuck to them. I go over this, I squeegee that thing all the way off. This should be my last round on this. I I got a comment the other day, it must be nice to walk around and like pick everybody else's work apart. I'm gonna pick my own work apart, watch. This is my handy dandy light right there. All right, so this is an Astro light. It's like one of my favorite things, but this is still drying off a little bit. So what I do is I go around all of these edges, and this is still drying off a little bit here. But I kind of look at it both ways, and I'll get down and look at it all different angles. This is still drying, so I want to let that go, but I'll come across the top here, and I'll look at this, and I've already seen this spot right here. This little bit of texture right here, it's not perfectly flat yet. I'm gonna get in there. That's a hard spot, and a lot of times what I'll do is I'll just take my hand, because it's kind of the same contour, and I'll run across this area right here. But I think I'm pretty good. You know, where you're looking, you're kind of looking at these areas, you're pushing up against your body lines. I like all this except this one spot. I'm gonna hit that, and then I'm gonna start buffing. He asked for it. He said, come over here and check out my stuff. Same thing I just did. I went over there and I picked my own stuff apart. Now I'm gonna pick his stuff apart. Okay, here we go. Right here. See that texture going across there? I find that spot. So from about here, all through here, we gotta hit that a little bit more with a stick. This looks pretty good all through here. Okay, so I got this area. I got a little bit of ripple there, right through here. And then all of this. Then I'm coming up there, this. You know why he missed that? Because he don't have my light. I'm gonna give it to him the next time though. So what I've done now is I went from 800 to 1200. I don't think there's much difference between 1000 and 12 in my opinion, but that's what I'm doing today. I'm going from 800 to 1200, then I'm gonna go to 15, and then I'm gonna decide where we're gonna go from there, but I don't know that answer yet. What we're gonna do here, I'm gonna finish the bottom of this with 12. I've already hit all this, shaped that in, and I've used a stick to knock that down the first time, but now I'm going with a block. That way I can kind of catch some of my contours and get my flat, and I like to run that back and forth. I'll stick sand this in this direction and kind of work that area, so I can level it just like I do when I'm doing the body work. But once I get past that leveling stage, I do a lot of this movement, and when I'm sanding on this, I will do this, and I'm trying to bring it all in together. So this is the process that I'm gonna use on these quarters, because I want that to be one nice line going through there. So right now I'm using this, and I think we're on schedule. We're gonna be hitting this with a buffer here pretty quick, be ready to go. We're gonna talk about one thing that I think is very valuable on this. When everybody else left last night, Mark came in and worked on this. Getting that carpet in, letting it settle in place where it needs to be. He's got that carpet laying in right where it's gonna be. Then he'll go through, he'll trim up a few things, but he's pretty close, he's on the money. But if you just grab that and you get it out of the box and you lay it in there, it doesn't fit, it doesn't look like it's gonna fit. So he's laid that in there and it's kind of got that carpet sitting where it's gonna be. He's trimmed up most of his edges, but there's a lot of time that goes into that. And the last thing you wanna do, and I hate to admit, we put carpet in a lot of times and I'm like, that's not gonna work. If you cut those corners, you got one shot. You cut those corners short, you're done. It's on the money.
This is just a regular old soldering iron. Just quick, simple, easy, cheap one. But when you put the carpets in, you locate your holes for your seat belts, your seat mounts, even the hole for the shifter. You use one of these when it's hot to melt that out so your carpet doesn't want to fray at the edges. And then everything is set. You've got your holes, you've got everything set, you can put your screws in. This makes mounting everything through the carpet so much easier.
And you know what's so great about that? I've been building cars my whole life, and you know what? I never did that before. He brought this part.
Nope. Tim brought that in here.
Okay, Tim. Oh, he's over there. But what's great about that, that's what I'm saying. I'm not gonna be like, oh, I've been doing this my whole life, I know everything. There's new tips that these guys pick up all the time.
Nobody knows every little thing. You pick up something from every person you work with.
Never did it. I used to take a razor blade and cut it all out and do all this. He got me.
If somebody has trouble, they put this and this on and they have trouble. There's a little bitty rod in the back. Every every once in a while I have to buff the end of that off because it's like it's too long. And it will mess you up. You'll be like, why don't I have brakes?
All right, I'm the guy. I'm the one. I'm back again, picking everybody else's work apart. But guess what? It looks great. He's got that baby dialed in. Look how slick that is right there. Love it. Absolutely love it.
Wet sanding the door. 800 grit to knock it flat. Then we'll follow up with 1200 and 1500.
All right, we've got everything sanded down. I've already did the other side. I'm jumping to here right now. As soon as I get this buffed, bumper goes on, all the back end gets built, and it starts going this way. Doors are gonna get done next, but that's where we're at. Okay, it's time. I'm going to buff this door. This is how we're getting down to on the time frame. I'm gonna buff this door, but I'm not gonna buff this door because I think by the time I go get those parts painted and I get back here, he won't have his door done. So, because he's got to build this whole thing. So I'm gonna buy me a little bit of time. I'm gonna buff this one. I'm gonna go stripe. I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna buff that one, and then they'll both be done. You know what we're doing now? Got to get our second wind. I'm starting to nod a little bit, so I'm gonna get my second wind. Kind of got a little bit of jump anyway because I came over here and Sean already got this stuff in color for me. You know, I usually don't let people do that, but I felt pretty confident. He'd been knocking at me, you know, hey, let me. So I'm like, just get it ready. So he's got all this stuff ready. He's the same old. He just sits around all day and this shit just happens. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna line this up. I'm gonna put the header by the hood. I'm gonna get the balance going. I'm gonna pull my stripes through here. I'm gonna put the black stripes on, 2 to 3 hours. Stripes will be done. I'll throw the clear on it. We'll be done for the day. All the parts will be painted except the deck lid and rear spoiler. Okay, I'm gonna 3M tape this. It's my favorite blue. I like the blue. I don't use anything but that. I'm gonna lay this out with my blue fine line. I'm gonna say, I got this, we always have this joke. It's like, okay, 7-minute process. I'm like, I think this is actually gonna take me about 15. This is gonna take me about 15. And this is gonna take me about 15. So within about 45 minutes, we're gonna be putting some black stripes on this. Then we're gonna clear it all. Then we're gonna go back to the shop, work on some more parts. This is gonna get us pretty close today. right, Mark's putting the quarter glasses in right now, trying to stay in order just so we don't get in the way of each other. But what the deal is both doors are ready to go on this car. I just got out of the paint booth a little bit ago. The rest of the parts are painted except for the trunk and the rear spoiler, which we'll catch tomorrow. We'll bake them, we'll get them on the car. But driver's door's ready, sitting over there. Passenger door's ready, sitting right here. We'll build those tomorrow. We'll get the fenders in first thing in the morning. We'll start wet sanding them, and that's the end of day 4. We'll see you tomorrow for the last day of the 5-day build.